Good evening. Welcome to the Coffeyville City Commission meeting for Tuesday, July 23rd, 2019. We'll see a little bit of a change in our agenda. Tonight we'll take a roll call, and then after roll call we'll do invocation. We'll be led by Pastor John Dixon of the Emmanuel Southern Baptist Church.
Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Here.
Commissioner Doan,
Here.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Here.
Please stand for the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Mary, it looks like you might be our pastor tonight.
Okay.
If you'll lead us in prayer, please.
Sure thing. Let us go to the Lord in prayer. Father, we thank you for the day, and we thank you for the many blessings that you bestow upon us. You've been so good to us, and we're trying to do what you want us to do. Sometimes we fall short, but you pick us up again and set us on the right path. We're here tonight to do the business of the city. We have a great city to live in, regardless of one's age. Lots of things to do and lots of things to celebrate. Help us as each individual to go to you every day in prayer, and we give thee the thanks for all the blessings. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mary, thank you very much for stepping in. We need to review a review of the agenda, so I'm going to make a motion to adopt an amended agenda for tonight. We added a executive session to the end. So
I'll second.
Sorry.
I'll
was that-
second.
Okay. Motion was made by Mayor Bauer and seconded by Commissioner Doan to approve the amended agenda. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
Moving into the consent agenda. City Commission meeting minutes for Tuesday, July 9th, 2019. 2019 appropriation ordinance number AO-19-14 in the amount of $4,656,167.24. Ordinance number S-19-03, second reading of an ordinance to allow alcohol to be served on 9th Street during the Coffeyville Area Chamber of Commerce Hops Around the Town Beer Festival event on October 12, 2019. And action to set public hearing for August 13th, 2019, 6:30 p.m. for our fiscal year 2020 budget. Any questions, comments, or amendments to these first four items on the consent agenda?
I have none. I move to approve the consent agenda as read.
I'll second it.
Okay. Motion was made by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Vice Mayor Taylor to approve the consent agenda as presented. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
2019 appropriation ordinance number AO-19-14A, Ishams, in the amount of $64.66. Questions or amendments to this item on the agenda?
With none, I approve to approve.
Second.
I'm sorry, who said second? Okay, thank you. Motion was made by Vice Mayor Taylor and seconded by Mayor Bauer to approve the appropriation ordinance number AO 19-12A for adoption. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Abstain.
Last item on the consent agenda, 2019 appropriation ordinance number AO-19-14B, Taylor Crane and Rigging, in the amount of $5,285.50. Comments or amendments to this item? Seeing none, I'll make a motion to approve AO-19-12A.
Okay. I'll second.
Okay. Motion was made by Mayor Bauer and seconded by Commissioner Van Oster to approve the appropriation ordinance number AO-19-12A for adoption. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Abstain.
Commissioner Williams,
Aye.
Commissioner Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster.
Aye.
We'll move into new business. So tonight we have an application to serve, or an applicant to serve on the Montgomery County Juvenile Corrections Board, and it is James Littleford. If you'll come forward for us, and been through this before, so if you just give us a little background and why, what interests you about this particular board?
This would be my third term on the Juvenile Justice Board. As a member of the school community, I deal with our students and our young people every single day. So therefore, I think it's good for me to be involved in this so I can be on top of the juvenile justice system and how it affects our students and youth here in Montgomery County.
A little background about yourself, just for everyone in TV land.
I am a Phil Kinley High School graduate, grew up in Coffeyville, lived there pretty much my entire life. I live 1 mile south and east of Tyro. I'm the high school principal at Caney Valley High School now. I spent 6 years as the assistant principal at the middle school at Roosevelt here in Coffeyville. My mom is a retired teacher from Coffeyville, and my stepdad still works for the district.
Fantastic. Any questions?
Nope, I have none. I move to appoint James Littleford to his third term on the Montgomery County Juvenile Corrections Board.
I'll second.
Motion was made by Commissioner Van Oster and seconded by Commissioner Williams to appoint James Littleford to continue to serve on the Montgomery County Juvenile Corrections Board. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
and Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Jimmy, thank you.
Thank
We
you guys.
appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
So obviously, we have a very short agenda tonight, so we're going to move on to the city manager's report.
Mayor, Commissioners, you know, it's budget season, and we've already started on that. We will work on some of the corrections that the commission requested the first night, and hopefully tomorrow night, as we meet again, we'll have those corrections made and go through the rest of the budget. But other than that, the staff, and I know you talked to them so far during the budget, but they're working hard to stay on top of things. I know you listened and they appreciated some of the things that they are trying to do. So if there's any questions the commission would like to ask, I'd entertain those.
I don't have any questions. I'd just like to say thanks.
You bet.
Yep.
Good job.
Yeah, I thought last night went pretty
Very
smooth,
well.
actually. We made it through more than half of what we had planned on, so that's always a good thing. Shorter for tomorrow night, right?
Yes, yes.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Okay, we'll move
And the
in.
public's welcome to join that if they want to.
Yes.
That's correct.
That's correct.
Just so they'll know.
At this time, we'll take comments from the public. The public is free to comment on items not listed on the agenda. Please address comments to the commission as a body and be mindful of others who may also wish to speak by limiting your comments to 3 minutes. I know you're here.
I'm Eric Jensen, 409 North Edgewood Drive. And reading my paper here in the last week, pretty disappointed to see that the city's not going to live up to their commitment to our school district, which is going to force tax increases. I brought my tax bill from last year, and they lay this out pretty good on your tax bill. Last year, the state's mill levy stayed the same. The state USD mill levy stayed the same. And then we get to the local entities. The county's mill levy went up 4.7%. USD 445's mill levy actually dropped 1/10 of a mil. Obviously because they were getting ready to throw this big bond issue at us, which they're getting ready to do again. City of Coffeyville raised their mill levy 13.1%. Coffeyville College their general fund raised 2.5%. The capital outlay fund went up 4.8%. The rec commission employee benefits went up 12.9%. The rec commissions went up 44.1%. And Wildcat Extension District number 14 went up 1.8%, for a total mill levy increase to us of 5.7%, when we have inflation of about 2.5% to 3%. The 13.1% increase, which I see by the agenda tonight, it's a good time to talk about this. Me and several people came up here and talked about this 13.1%, and you guys just smugly went right ahead and voted it. And I see businesses closing down out here, and I can guess our assessment for the total assessment is going to go down again this year. And I'm assuming that you guys aren't going to tighten your belt. And we're again going to take the brunt of this. And the school district is going to try to get this passed to us again. And I take my dog for a walk every morning. I could tell you 8 or 10 people that I see living around me. They drive Oklahoma tags. They drive Cherokee Nation tags. And if nobody's going to enforce making them pay their fair share of local taxes, don't come at me with increases and bond issues. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Well, here we are again,
Yeah.
Mayor Bauer, commissioners and staff. All I can say is we had a heck of a party. We had that park packed all day. You know, it was really exciting for us. We started out with a car show. We had 200 cars and 180 of them registered. We had 36 little kiddie cars, which was an absolute hit for the day. That was, you know, Sheriff's Reserve let them out with the lights and siren. It was just so cool. We had somewhere in the neighborhood of 65 vendors, you know, all kinds of food vendors, all kinds of merchandise vendors.
60 runners in our 5K.
We had 60 runners in our 5K, which was about 3 times what we had last year. We gave a ton of stuff away this year. I think between the 3 of us, I think we hit about every door in town. The donations and the response this year was just absolutely overwhelming. We really appreciate all the businesses and all the sponsors, you know, individuals that came to us. Had the 2 bands, the Backroads Band and Retro Rockers, put on a really excellent show. We had Haley Bagwell came out and she met with Kirk Stevens, the fireworks people, the night before, Friday before, and she came out and sang the national anthem, and he had a tablet. He coordinated everything, his fireworks, to when she sang the national anthem. It was pretty cool. And then Kirk Stevens, can't say enough good about those people. They had 16 people out there from Wednesday till Saturday setting this up. And we had an awful lot of, he put in $10,000 of his own money to help us out.
Wow.
And who's this?
Kirk Stevens and the Foggy Bottom Productions out of Kansas City. He's been doing this he's done this for me and the last 4 years for 15 years. And he said that this, his people just love coming down here. Anyway, he put in his own money. He had to buy a bunch of lumber to build that big billboard out there. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but we had a lot of, we tried to put a lot of Coffeyville 150 into that. And I've got some, here's some, we brought gifts. A little memorabilia of our deal.
Thank
Alicia
you.
over here at NATO Alley,
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
she printed up those fans, and the keychains are laser etched. She had those made, and then Designs Unlimited down here made those are dash plaques, and we thought those were really cool. And probably what you guys may have needed the most, that I got a pair of twin grandsons that rode on the back of my golf cart. We had a box of 400 stress balls, and it had American flag on them, and then we had the Coffeyville 150 and the date and the Southern Celebration on them, and they got to throw them. And we went out there Sunday morning, and apparently everybody liked them because there wasn't any laying around. Anyway, we would just like to thank the city for allowing us to do this, for preparing the park. We're going to do it again. I think next year. I think it's July the 11th. It just keeps getting bigger and bigger, and we're pretty proud of what we've done. Anyway, now you got something to say, or
A little bit about the car show. Andy and I, we do a lot towards the car show this year, and we got a lot of recognition throughout 4 states. And the 4 states did show up. There was a lot of cars that none of us had ever seen before. I felt sorry for our judges that had to judge these cars. We had 5 cars that ranked in the top with the top 5 scores, and we had to go out and find the best to show, and we had trouble doing it. And they were just magnificent. I did notice that we had cars in town on Friday night. That means our hotels were doing business. I do know, talking to Gail, that one of the hotels, they needed to move some of the workers around from Foggy Bottom Boys, and they didn't have the rooms to do it because the hotels were full. And so that, for 3 guys that don't know what they're doing, I think we're doing a pretty good job in trying to figure it out. We take all the negativity that we get on Facebook and social media, and we apply it to the next year. And so it's been working. Our car show, you notice, spread out. I mean, by gosh, we even brought in a helicopter this year. And so I'm glad we didn't have an open class. We'd probably been judging it. But the people really liked it, and I think they did a good job. They came to us and asked if they could land out there. We took the appropriate actions and got a field where they could land on, and they stayed for 2 or 3 hours. Then people just crawl all over their medevac and everything, so we really appreciated them. Brought in 62 merchandise vendors, and I think we had 18 food vendors, and all of them after, used to I said 6 o'clock, but the park never emptied this year. It stayed full all day long, and I watched from Shoot Heaven after the fireworks were done, and they were fantastic. I mean, we set car alarms off, I think, off in Independence. Some of them booms were so loud this year. But I watched the cars and the taillights and everything, and we topped how many people that we've ever had out Coffeyville Celebration.
And what did you, last year you said it was so many thousand. What would you, any idea this year on the number?
I don't know, but the only thing I can say is that, it started Friday afternoon when the vendors came in, and there was even a couple of them that, agreed to open up because there was people out there meandering around.
Yeah. We had 40-some vendors. We could have opened the park up Friday night. We had 40 vendors, and probably all of our food vendors were in there. Yeah, we're Friday night, but no, don't ask us, we're not gonna do a Friday night.
Not a 2-day event?
So that's about all I said. We appreciate you guys for allowing us to have it, and anything, Andy?
I just, really commend the city, they keep the park looking really good. I talked to Jason Fester out there, and, with all the rain we had, he said he was just having a heck of a time keeping caught up, but he was trying, and, all in all, that Water Johnson Park, as far as I'm concerned, is a beautiful park. I don't know why in the off times, I don't know why more people don't go out there and just sit and have picnics, because it's, to me, the trees, the park is beautiful.
And we did have families that just came down and set up their canopies in the park. We let them set up with the food, with all the vendors, because they were elderly, and they said, can we just set up and spend the day here? So we had families just spending the day here. The camper area, I noticed it was really full. So I'm proud of what we did. Happy for what we did. I'm glad for 150th, and I'm really glad that we all provide, because us three, we do believe in Coffeyville, and it's coming back, and we're going to do everything we can to help it come back. So thank you guys.
Thank you.
Yes,
You
thank
all
you.
do
Thank you.
an amazing job,
Yep.
and to do what you do is just absolutely wonderful for this community.
Yeah, definitely.
And you brought a great day to a lot of people into our town, and we appreciate that. Very
I think that's the-
spectacular.
That's the big thing for us. We, I don't know how many people were in the park, but, it was something, it was a day for Coffeyville, really came out and supported us. They, had something to do for a day. We had water slides for the kids, and, it was just a pretty amazing day to all of us.
Well, you and your entire team are pulling the wagon and helping, part of the solution. And, you're thanking us, but we're thanking, I know the city does some stuff, Gail, but you guys are doing a heck of a job. And
Yes.
I want to see your succession plan is what I'd like to see.
Do what?
Your succession plan.
I don't think he's planning on going anywhere anytime
I don't think they're
soon.
going anywhere.
Well, you gotta have a succession plan.
We don't have a plan B. I mean, we go with plan A
They're
no
going
matter
to-
what.
Well, you got one, Andy there.
As long as you can do it, I'll just do it that way.
Yeah, I'll just reiterate what Commissioner Taylor said. You thanked us, but truly we thank you, because
Very good.
I can only not even imagine the amount of time and effort and work that you put in. I'm sure it is countless days. This isn't for you. It's a 1-day event, but it is a year's worth of leading up to it. So
We started in January, that's the good thing, Kirk is so good with us about the fireworks. When I get with him in January, we get first off, we get a 25% discount, which we just had the fireworks on. And second of all, like I said, he just loves coming down here doing this, and he puts on, 20 or 30 shows every year.
yeah.
And he just, I don't know, he just became part of my family. So, and we got this poster board, we had it made, and we used it out there at Velcro, and we Velcroed it up on the stadium. Looked really good. It's kind of a 1-year thing. I don't know whether you have any memorabilia, or you
Okay.
put it in the closet or whatever.
We'll find a place
We
to
will find a place.
keep on.
To put that.
Yeah,
Thank
definitely.
you very
Thank you
much.
very much. We appreciate
Yes.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you a lot.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, you go. I was successful. I didn't get really not that a long time at it. This is a 3 minute story.
My name is Jim Taylor Sr. I live at 704 Spruce. I've lived in Coffeyville for a long time. and I am so happy. I was at the event that has just been discussed. I think it's one of the finest things I've seen that our citizen, our whole town got involved in. I have some important business of a different matter, but I'm going to exercise my privilege under the rules. Instead of speaking, I have it in writing on and present it to y'all.
Okay.
It's much more serious event than what we've just done, and I wouldn't darken what they've done.
Okay.
Should I get permission? I'd like to pass these out.
Sure.
I'm making 2 requests of you commissioners. No need to discuss them. They're listed here.
Okay.
If you decide that you want to respond, fine. I'm sure that you're going to have plenty of opportunity to.
All right.
We haven't responded to any of the other ones, have we?
Yes, I made this
Yeah.
thing, I made a request similar to this about 3 years ago.
Right,
Commissioner Taylor.
right.
And all I
And
got
did
was-
we respond to it?
Yeah, I got a bunch of guff from the city attorney, but part of this represents that, so.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about.
Yeah,
Just
well, I'll be
trying
happy
to
to
get.
explain it.
Thank you, Thank you.
Thank you.
If I may, Mr. City Manager, I'll leave this with you.
Okay.
And the rules I understand of the procedure is there's enough here for the media
Okay.
and any of the other people that want. I'm sure that Paul will want a copy.
Okay.
And I thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Did I ever put one?
You're getting forgetful.
Thank you.
Don Edwards, 1107 West 5th. I both own that house and I live in it. Mayor, I was wondering if perhaps you could explain to the taxpayers why we're going to have a tax increase from the city via USD 445 this year.
I will actually have to refer that on to Paul Kreitz, our city attorney, as that's what I've been
Can you
advised.
explain it?
I would prefer that Mr. Kreitz.
I'm sorry. I was reading the correspondence from Mr. Taylor. What was the question?
I'm curious why the city of Coffeyville is foisting a tax increase onto the taxpayers of Coffeyville by backing out of the interlocal agreement from 2000, I believe it 2002, with USD 445.
Do you want me to respond to that question?
And further, I'd like to know when you guys made the decision to do that. Was that made in a public meeting? Was it made in an executive session?
Our public comments criteria basically allow, let me just pull them up to read from them.
In other words, you don't have an answer, and I don't have a right to stand here and ask a question.
You have the right to ask a question. I don't know that it's fair to demand an answer.
Well, then I'll save you the embarrassment of reading me more state statutes. I've been quoted plenty of those the last couple of weeks by you and the city manager. And I will make a comment to this extent. I sat in here for 3 hours yesterday.
Yes, you did.
Okay? And I guarantee you that I understood that budget better than 4 of you. Some of you hardly asked any questions at all. 2 of you didn't even get here on time. And today, excuse me, it's my time. You guys moved public comments at the end of the meeting.
You got about
So
a minute left.
Yeah.
on.
I'll make good use of it, even though you gave more than 3 minutes to the folks that did the fireworks show, okay? You spent $4.65 million today. Nobody even asked a question. Not one question. So you can sit there and give me an indignant look, but from my perspective, I don't think you guys know what you're doing. Okay? I can't get you to respond to an email. And if you're going to be mayor, you need to respond to emails. I don't care if you like me or not.
Okay.
And if you can't respond to emails, then you need to hand the gavel over to the vice mayor, because I know he responds to phone calls. Okay?
Sure.
And your 3-minute rule, when you guys have scrunched your meetings down to 20 minutes, is ridiculous. And then you push in the public comments to the back of the meeting. It's very clear why you've done that, because you don't want people to have to sit. You want people to sit through a meeting to dissuade them from getting up here and speaking. I can ask you questions all day long, and I guarantee you wouldn't be able to answer them because you people are being led by the nose by somebody who you've hired to be city manager, and you're allowing him to break city ordinance by living outside the city limits. He's taken $135,000 a year of taxpayers' money, and Mayor, you are allowing him to violate city ordinance. I'll ask you a question that you should be able to answer without quoting me a state statute. Is a city commission that allows a city manager to violate city ordinance, would that be grounds for removal from office?
I'm not going to answer that
Of
question.
course you're not. You people need to get your stuff together. You need to start having meetings that are meaningful. You need to start asking questions. I sent you an email 2 years ago about how the city staff will lead you around. I gave you examples, detailed examples of lies they've told in the past. And you apparently didn't listen. You're going to listen over the next few months. You need to start answering emails.
Any other questions or comments? All right, at this time, I'll make a motion to move to recess to executive session to discuss a contractual issue pursuant to the attorney-client privilege pursuant to the exception of KSA 75-4319B2 to include the city manager, director of electric utilities, finance director, city attorney, and reconvene in the commission room on or before 7:45. Let's make it 7:50.
Thank you.
I mean, that was a motion. Somebody second.
Yes, I'll second.
Okay. The motion has been made to move to recess to executive session to discuss contractual issues pursuant to attorney-client privilege by the exception KSA 75-4319B2 to include the city manager, director of electric utilities, finance director, and city attorney to reconvene in the commission room on or before 7:50. Motion is made by Mayor Bauer, seconded by Vice Mayor Taylor. Mayor Bauer?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor?
Aye.
Commissioner Williams?
Aye.
Commissioner Doan?
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster?
Aye.
Off the record, the city of Independence today. I don't even live there. I only drive through there on my way to work 5 days a week. And they said, sure, you want a copy of our proposed budget, come and get it. Mark, these secrets, the way that you're running the city here, it's not going to work.
It's a work in progress, so
I
I don't
see-
know what to tell you.
Well,
I mean,
you make $135,000 a year, you ought to be doing a better job. And you ought to move to the city and slum with the
not gonna touch that. Might touch something else.
Executive session, no action will be taken.
You just sit there and
No action will be taken.
Second? Second?
And then I need to have everybody vote.
You just say,
Okay.
as a result of
Okay.
the executive session, a motion, no action taken, motion by.
Okay. So as a result of the executive session, no action will be taken. Motion made by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Van Oster. Mayor Bauer,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Taylor,
Aye.
Commissioner Doan,
Aye.
Commissioner Van Oster,
Aye.
and Commissioner Williams.
Aye.
Okay.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
You can bang it.
Allison's first and completed
Yes.
meeting.